सरस सामदान भेद दंड चतुर 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 सातिदेवमेव रे ब्रोववे सरस सामदान भेद दंड चतुर सातिदेवमेव रे ब्रोववे सरस सामदान हितवु माटलंतो भागबल्गिटिवि हितवु माटलंतो भागबल्गिटिवि हितवु माटलंतो भागबल्गिटिवि शतमुगान योध्या नीतुनन्तिवि शतमुगान योध्या नीतुनन्तिवि नत सहोदरुनी राजू चेसी राक नत सहोदरुनी राजू चेसी राक नत सहोदरुनी राजू चेसी राग हत मुझे सीतीवी त्यागराजनोता हत मुझे सीतीवी त्यागराजनोता सरस सामधान भेद दंड चतुर सातिदेवमेव रे ब्रोववे सरस सामदान What? Again? Okay.
Those who have performed the marriage on behalf of Sri Ramanuja Mission, we sincerely thank you for the opportunity that the Atlanta community has provided us in celebrating the glory of Perumal as well as Tayar. This concludes the function. At this time, you may all repeat what I will say, and then you can take all the upacharam as well as the Andal Pratime that has been given to you. Just please fold your hands and repeat Yathastanam Pratishtapayami. And then, please offer sincere prayers for all the welfare of the family and the country that we have chosen to call as our home, for all the subhiksham to Sarvos Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. Harihi Om. And be careful with the lamps. You can just use the flower to kind of, apply on top of it, and that will starve it of the oxygen. And then please take it. In Tamil, they call it kulira padatharadu. You cannot say anaikaradu, because you can never switch it off. It's called kulira padatharadu. Basically, you kind of kulira padatharadu. That's all I know. That's
No, you can play during the door. That's what he said.
and the lamps also you can take.
sing Krishna Bhajo? Come on, I'll sing with you. Krishna Bhajo, Krishna Bhajo, Murali. People hear that? You can play now. We're not gonna start it. It's already been 2 minutes since you said that. They're gonna step on it. Put it in the thing. No, because then if we hold it. Don't play instrument once, anyone can hear. Let's just play one line. Hold it as close as you can. They can hear it, right? No, they don't. Can you play? Play as loud as you can.
எல்லாருக்கும் நமஸ்காரம். On behalf of the KA Academy of Indian Music and Dance, I, C.V. Subramanian, present the KA String Ensemble. Today we are going to present a composition that's going to be in praise of Lord Krishna. It's going to have a phrase of a bhajan mixed with the Jantai Varsaigal. The Jantai Varsaigal are the basic building blocks of Carnatic music. So you will see a lot of Jantai Varsaigal intermixed with a bhajan phrase that's going to be repeated over and over. I will sing that bhajan phrase for you now so that you can identify that when we are playing that in the violin. Krishna, Krishna, Yaduvara Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Yaduvara Krishna. Murahara Keshava, Yadhava, Madhava. Murahara Keshava, Yadhava, Madhava. Krishna, Krishna, Yaduvara Krishna. So this is the bhajan phrase that you will listen to in the violin. Thank you. And I'm going to use a mridangam machine. So there's not going to be any person who's going to be playing the mridangam. It's going to be a machine that will play the mridangam. Can all of you hear the mridangam? Students? The count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you. And that composition was in Ragam Kalyani. It's a very beautiful ragam. In Hindustani, it's called Yaman. And the Aronam, Avaronam of that ragam is Sare Kama Pada Nisa Sa Ni Da Pa Ma Ga Re Sa. Thank you all. Thank you.
Please be all seated. We thank the violin ensemble and then the budding artists for the excellent rendition in the glory of Sri Krishna. We all bow our heads for the stupendous performance. Narayana. You may all, at this time, get up, go in a single file, go around this way. Single file because there is only room for only one person to go. Please take darshan of the Acharya Padukas, which are basically the holy sandals. Then take darshan of the Sri Krishna, Sri Sudarshanar, and Sri Ramanuja. And then the priest will put the holy akshate on all of you, blessing everybody. And then as you come down on that corner, he will be giving a prasadam of the fruits. So please take the violins with you because we don't want to trample on it. Once again, we thank for the accelerating performance. Dasan. Okay. You just go. You just. That gentleman will give you the lead. Please, one row at a time. The rear row first, then the first row. The next performance is going to be on Varanamayiram. Varanamayiram is a composition by Sri Andal requesting the marriage of Sri Ranganatha to her. So what we are going to have is a musical presentation of Varanamayiram, where we will be going through the interpretation of the various verses by various sages over a period of time. Okay? So please take the next 15 minutes where you are, and then please get the blessings of Perumal. Thank you. This is only for the people who actually rendered violin. Then the holy tirtham will be distributed to the people who are going to be staying back. Thank you very much.
Krishna, ankade ponina. Ni ankade ponu nina. Work arda ida. Because it be passing around. Slide ang work ma.
Use 2 seconds, 2 minutes more. Line irukku. Adha introduce பண்ணுங்க சும்மா. Just introduce yourself. adha பண்ணுங்க. Keep.
We cannot see them because the screen is blocking them.
To save, we are going to present Varanamayiram presentation.
Oh, sorry. Mike. Angar.
The song and the direction of Siddhartha for singing and Sumati, I don't know if you want to say something. Together the meanings and two acharyas.
I'll put it.
And
நேரா பிடிச்சுக்கோ. இதே பிடி. இந்த கட்டங்க வச்சு. ஓகே.
Excuse me, Bhagavatas who prepared Bhakshanam, please meet Bhavani. Thank you.
Hello all. We are going to give a Varnamairam PowerPoint presentation with the song. With the guidance of Sujata Akka and Sumati Akka has prepared this presentation. So kindly, please pay attention. Okay, thank you.
Today we are indeed blessed to perform a musical presentation on Varnamairam. At the outset, our sincere thanks to Sri Vaishnava Shri for granting us the permission to use the pictures. Also, our heartfelt thanks and respects to Srimati Kalyani Krishnamachari and the Sundara Simham team for providing the wonderful Purvacharya's commentary and meanings of the Pashrams.
One second. Can you all please be silent a little bit so that everyone can hear? Thank you.
People should come this side. Slide inga irukku.
There is a presentation.
Next slide. Andal, daughter of Periyalvar, grew up hearing about Lord Krishna and made up her mind to marry none other than Lord Krishna. She refused to think of any human being in similar terms. She was at a stage where she could not continue to live without Krishna. It is said that her suffering was so intense that if the Lord presented himself to her without warning, she would not be able to bear the shock of this. So the Lord decided to appear in her dream to give her an experience of marrying him that will make her happy and let her continue to live so that the Lord could take her to his abode at the appropriate time. Andal, in her ecstasy, describes her dream to her friends in the hopes of this dream coming true. Thus emerges this Prabandham, Varnamairam. This is a very renowned Prabandham in Nalayara Divi Prabandha Pashrams. Even today, this sixth Tirumozhi is being sung in all the Vedic weddings. The traditional belief is that when this ritual is performed, the newly wedded couple's lives will forever remain sweet. Godai herself says that those who chant this Tirumozhi will beget children with good qualities and virtues or sattva gunam. The main point that can be noted is that the different steps involved in the Vedic marriage of today are not any different from those in the marriage ceremony that Andal describes in Varnamairam. In every wedding, even today, the bridegroom is treated as Lord Narayana and bride as Andal. Our Purvacharyas have commented that our Andal was more fortunate than Mother Sita, who wished to see Sri Rama in a dream. However, Sita got consolation with the words of Trijata and Hanuman. Here, for our Andal, the Lord himself gives her an anubhavam in the dream that is complete in every sense, including all the steps involved in their marriage. Andal, in turn, rejoices in narrating this experience to her friends.
Varanamayiram Shuravalam Varanamayiram Shuravalam Shede Narananam நம்பி நடக்கின்றான் என்றது பூரண பொற்கூடம் வைத்து புறம் எங்கும் தோரணம் நாட்ட கனகண்டே தோழினான்.
In the first pasuram of Varanamayiram, Kodai starts describing beautifully to her friend a divine dream that she just had of her marriage with Kannan. Oh, my dear Sakhi, I had this wonderful dream. I saw Narayanan or Sri Ranganathan surrounded by thousands of elephants going around Sri Villibuttur. My father, Periyalvar, and the citizens of the village extended a grand welcome to him with Purna Kumbams placed on their heads. The whole village is decorated with toranams, not streamers, to mark the festive occasion. Andal sees in her dream all the preparations and decorations in the town to receive him. Varanamayiram means 1,000 elephants. Krishna may have obtained this from Vasudevar, and each of his 1,000 friends may have an elephant to ride. When the great Narayana with supreme qualities comes down to Bhuloka, he is welcomed by the people with toranams. Sriman Narayanan has all kinds of vahanams. Yet, in order to bless the people who belong to him, he chooses to walk to show his saulabhyam or simplicity.
நாளிவதுவை மணமின்று நாளிட்டு பாழை கமுகு பரிசுடை பந்தற்கீழ் கோணலி மாதவ கோவிந்தன் எல்வானோர் காளை புகுத கனா கண்டேன் தோழினான்.
Kodai continues describing the next scene in her dream. Tomorrow is the day that has been fixed for the wedding. I saw a handsome youth who goes by the names Narasimhan, Madhavan, and Govindan enter the wedding dais decorated with betel nut trees to participate in the Nishchitartha, or the finalization of the wedding between the bride and the groom. What is the reason that the wedding is tomorrow and not today or 4 days later? Our Purvacharyas, like Periyavachan Pillai, says that if it is today, Godai will become too excited with happiness, and like a thirsty person who drinks water very fast and chokes, she will not be able to hold the excitement. If it's a few days later, it's too long a wait for her, and she cannot stand it either. Hence, the day is fixed for tomorrow. Kolari means like the majestic lion. Krishna's majestic gait displays his pride in being the pati of Andal. Name Govindan denotes saulabhyam or simplicity. He is subdued and is treating everyone with utmost respect and equality here, in order to ward off any obstruction to the wedding from anyone. Andal mentions that he is an extremely attractive young man with great saundaryam.
இந்திரன் உள்ளிட்ட தேவர் குழாம் எல்லாம் வந்திருந்து என்னை மகள் பேசி மந்திரத்து மந்திர கோடி உடுத்தி மணவாளை அந்தரி சூட்டகனா கண்டே தோழினான். In this Pashuram, Andal continues her narration describing the finer aspects of arrangements for the wedding ceremony. She says, Indra and all the Devas arrived with great enthusiasm to arrange and partake in all aspects of the Kalyana Mahotsava of the Lord. The Sambandhis then decided when and how the marriage would be conducted, including details about the clothes to be worn, jewelry, and gifts to be exchanged. Andal describes how her to-be sister-in-law, Krishna's sister, Durgai, helps her wear the Kura Podavai, or the bridal sari, and decorates her with an exquisitely smelling flower garland for the ceremony, right away to ward off any obstacles that may result from a delay. நாள்திசை தீர்த்தம் கொணர்ந்து நனி நல்கி பார்ப்பன சிட்டர்கள் பல்லார் எடுத்தேத்தி பூப்புனை கண்ணி புனிதரோடில் தன்னை காப்பு நான் கட்ட கண்ணா கண்டேன் தோழினா. Here Andal recalls her dream that several Brahmana Shrestras bring holy waters from all the four directions. Brahma, her father, the Sapta Rishis, and the Vedic scholars take the tirtham that has been purified with Udagashanti mantrams and sprinkle it on her head and chant Ashirvadam for her. She says, I see Lord Ranganatha, who stands like a Sarvanga Sundaran, decorated with a colorful garland. I saw in my dream that my hand and his hand were being tied with kankanam. Just as the Vanaras brought water from the four oceans for Sri Ramapiran's Pattabhishekam, Andal in her dream sees that the holy waters are being brought for her marriage from all four directions. Nani Nalgi here means well sprinkled with holy waters. Shastras say that if one is well sprinkled with holy water, then it will bring them a long life. So, the elders do Tirtha Prokshanam on Kodai. Parpana Chittargal refers to not just Brahmins, but the best among them who have learned the Vedas very well and who are well respected by all. Pu Punai Kanni Punidan translates as follows. Unlike Kodai, who is all dressed up with ornaments, Kannan comes for the Vedic ceremonies wearing a single garland and a pavitram on his finger. He walks very carefully, holding his dress to make sure it does not come in contact with anybody. Kannan observes this much acharam, thinking Periyarvar might not give his daughter in marriage to him if acharam is not observed. Kadiroli deepam kalashamudan yedi satirila mangayatam vandevirkulla மதுரையார் மல்லனல் அடிநிலை தொட்டு எங்கும் அதிர புகுத கனா கண்டேன் தோழினா.
Here, Andal mentions to her friend that in her dream, she saw young girls, very beautiful, as to attract the attention of all assembled there. They were carrying Deepa and Kalasa in their hands to invite the bridegroom. The king of Madura put on the Paduka and started walking in a royal dignity, shaking the earth. The first two lines of this Pashuram are also indicative of the acts undertaken as Pariharam for any Drishti Dosham. The Mangala Deepas are compared to the sun because the sun never loses its brilliance, and so also the Mangala Deepam is such that it will not lose its brightness and thus in any way infer any inauspicious omen. The women walk with bent heads, carefully watching that the lamps remain lit, and also indicative of their modesty, etc. Andal's reference to Sadirila Mangayar, or the beautiful young unmarried woman welcoming Kannan to this world, is compared by Purvacharyas to the way the beautiful young woman welcomed the Mukta Jivas to Sri Vaikuntham. She says, Madurayar Mannan. Mathura has a special significance in that the Lord came from Paramapadam and takes over kingship here. Anda says, Yengum Atira Puguda. Why is Krishna walking, making a noise that shakes the bhumi? One of the commentators say that the earth was shaking because he was walking with great excitement and happiness to get Andal.
மத்தளம் கொட்ட வரிசங்கம் நின்றூத முத்துடை தாமம் நிறை தாழ்ந்த பந்தர்கீழ் மைத்துனன் நம்பி மதுசூதன் வந்து என்னை கைத்தலம் பற்ற கனா கண்டேன் தோழினார்.
Andal says to her friend, "Oh dear Sakhi, I saw in my dream that Mangalavadyams were being played and conches were being blown under the canopy that was decorated with low-lying pearl strands. Madhusudan took my right hand into his and did panigrahanam." Andal has described till the last pashrams the preliminaries in a wedding. Panigrahanam is the most important function in the marriage ceremony. With Agni as the witness, this rite signifies that the relationship that is established is irrevocable for all future. The significance here is that the couple will be united in all their dharmic activities, always and everywhere. Andal calls the Lord as Maithunan Nambi, or aunt's son. The reason is, just as Nappinai, who is said to be the daughter of Yashodai's brother and thus related to Kannan, Andal wishes to think of herself as an Ayurpadi girl related to Krishna. Why does she say Vandennai Kaitalam Patra, which means he came and took my hand? Andal's thought is, I am his property, so it is only proper that he comes to get me. One can remember the very enjoyable shlokam from Srimad Ramayana for Panigrahanam, where Janaka says, "Iyam Sita mamasuta saha dharma charitava pratija chainam badram te panim granishma panina." This Sita is my daughter. She will be your sahadharma charini. Hold her hand with your hand. It is said that the hand should be held fully with the palm of the bridegroom gripping the palm of the bride, signifying that from then on, whatever dharma they perform will be jointly performed and the benefits jointly shared. Sri Uttamur Veera Raghavacharya Swami points out that while Mangalasutram is just a sign that the girl is married, the true Vedic rite of importance in a marriage is the Panigrahanam.
மந்திரத்தால் பாஷிலை நாணல் படுத்து பரதி வைத்து காஷினமா களிரன்றார் என் கை பற்றி தீவலம் செய்ய கனா கண்டேன் தோழினார். In the 7th Pashuram, Andal describes the Saptapadi, or the 7 steps the bride and bridegroom take together round the sacred fire. Andal says in this Pashuram, "O Sakhi, Kannan walked majestically towards me and took my hand. We then circumambulated Agni, the sacred fire, 7 times to the chanting of the Vedas and mantras by eminent priests." Andal refers to Vainallar, or the chanting of Veda mantras by those who chant correctly, such that the power of the vibrations in the mantra bestow all wishes kept in one's mind right away. Turning around Agni 7 times signifies the pledge the married couple take to never leave each other ever. In the first turn, Sri Ranganathar says, "O dear Andal, you have taken the first step with me as my wife. I will make sure that you have undiminishing food all your life." This is a prayer for Subhishtam and Akshayapatram. In the second step, the groom prays, "O dear Andal, you have now taken the second step with me as my wife. May the Lord always bless you with pushti, or strength and vitality." This is a prayer for a disease-free life. In the third turn, the prayer is for the Lord to grant the boon of Rishtanushtanam, or performance of yajnams assigned to grihasthas during married life. In the fourth turn, the prayer is for conjugal happiness. In the fifth turn, the prayer is for the wealth of cattle like cows and horses and aishwaryams related to the four-footed. In the sixth turn, Ranganathar pledges to support Andal through all the ritus or seasons. In the second turn, the Lord says, I, Ranganatha, the former resident of Sri Rangam, will follow you to help you perform Aupasanam, Agnihotram, and other Grihastha Homams and Yagyams without deficiencies. You are the Nachiyar of my house now. Sriviliputtur is your place of birth. I will hence follow you and bless you to have all the Saubhagyams by moving over to your birthplace. Even today, we see Rangamannar, Andal, and Periyalvar on one Peetam at Sriviliputtur. The circumambulations end with Vedic mantras that state that the married couple are friends now forever.
இம்மைக்கும் ஏழு பிறவிக்கும் பட்டாவார் நம்மையுடையவன் நாராயணன் நம்பி செம்மையுடைய திருக்கையார் தாழ்பற்றி அம்மி மீதே கத்தனா கண்டேன் தோன்றினார்.
Kodai describes the next part of her dream to her friend. Narayanan, who is our protector in this birth and all the forthcoming births, and who is filled with Kalyana Gunas, held my right foot with his red-hued Tirukkai or hand and placed it on the Ammi or the stone. This ceremony, stepping over the stone, Ammi Medithal, is also called as Asmarohana. The bridegroom says to the bride, be strong in your loyalty to me like the stone and have a very long life. It is to symbolize that the bride will be steadfast in her Pativrata dharma. During the marriage, the sides of the bride and the groom have a fun exchange on the ethics of the husband bending down and holding the foot of the bride. The groom likes her so much that he catches hold of her leg. Our Lord is the Sheshi and receives our Kainkarya. When Bhagavan is in Samshlesha, it is he who falls at her feet. It is not like Upadesha Samaya, where the Shesha holds the master's feet. Andal declared in Tirupavai, Etraikum Yeyel Piruvekkum, Untannor Utrome Yavom, Unake Namatchevum, thus describing the Sharanagati Tattva Dharma. Here in Varnamayaram, she declares the same in a different form, Immaikum Yeyel Piruvekkum Patravan. In married life, the role of the husband as a support for the wife is only true for this birth. This relationship is based on two bodies of a husband and wife. But in the case of Emberuman, this relationship continues forever. He is the one who is the owner of all of us, Nammai Udayavan. He is our Swami. We are the Sheshas for no one else but him. We belong to him, not to ourselves. Here, Sri Perivachan Pillai quotes from Mahabharata, Chorena Atmapaharina. This Atma belongs to Bhagavan. Whoever thinks it belongs to himself is really stealing the Atma.
வரிசிலை வாழ்முகத்து என்னை மாத்தாம் வந்தேட்டு எரிமுகம் பாரித்து என்னை முன்னே நிறுத்தி அறிமுகல் அச்சுதன் கை மேல் என் கை வைத்து பொறிமுகம் தட்டக்கனா கண்டே தோழினா.
After Ammi Medithal comes Laja Homa. This practice is found in Prayoga Chandrika. Andal says, my brothers came and made me stand in front of the fire and placed my hand on his and offered puri into the fire. My brothers, who have attractive eyebrows that look like bent bows, ignite the Agni by adding samit and make me stand before the Agni. They place my hands on top of the hands of Kannan, who has a majestic face like the lion, and put rice puffs or puri in the Agni and help me do the homam. I saw this Puriyidal Vaibhavam in my dream, O Sakhi. The bride does the Laja Homam, praying that her husband should live forever with Sarva Mangalams. When the Laja Homam is done, the wife keeps her two hands together. Her brothers will place the rice puffs in her hands. The husband will place ghee on the rice puffs and saying the larger Homa mantram, pour the puffs into the fire, joining hands with the wife's hands. The husband tells Agni, "My wife is doing this larger homam, praying for a long life for me." Andal calls the Lord as Achyuta, one who will never forsake his devotees. Our Purvacharya's Anubhavam is that even after the puri has been placed in the fire and the brothers have removed their hands, Achyutan is not letting go of Kodai's hands. This indicates to Kodai that he will never let go of her. Kai mel yen kai would mean keeping Kodai's hands on top of his. This denotes that Pirati has the upper hand in giving abhayam to the devotees. Hence, we devotees approach Tayar first.
കുങ്കുമമപ്പി കുളിശാന്തമട്ടിട്ട് മംഗളവീതി വലം ചെയ്ത് മണനി അങ്കവനോടും ഉടൽ ചെങ്കൈമേൽ മൽജനമട കനാ കണ്ടേ തോഴിന.
Here, Andal says, "I dreamt that a lot of kumkumam and sandalwood were applied on our bodies, and Kannan and I were placed on top of the majestic elephant and taken in procession along the streets which had been decorated in celebration of our wedding. And then we were given the holy bath with the sacred waters, O Saki." Both Kannan and Andal must have worn a lot of garlands and other decorations during the wedding. With all that heavy dressing, they were sitting in front of the Agni, and their soft thirumenis would have become very hot. So, in order to cool their thirumenis, decorations are removed and cool kungumam and sandalwood paste are applied all over the thirumenis, and then the Mangala Snanam is given.
ஆயனுக்காகத்தான் கண்ட கனாவினை வேயர் புகழ் வில்லி புத்தூர் கோன் கோதை சொல் தூய தமிழ் மாலை இறைந்தும் வல்லவர் வாயு நம் மக்களை பெற்று மகிழ்வாரே.
Andal concludes her recall of a divine dream with a summary stanza where she identifies herself as Periyarva's daughter and highlights the benefits of reciting these 10 stanzas. This is the Palasruti. Andal has in her dream married Kannan, which she narrates to her friend. This shows how she desires deeply to be with him. Those who read them will have good children. She says, Kodai, the Tirumagal of Periyarvar, has sung this Tirumuri with 10 Pashurams in poetic Tamil, describing her divine dream about Ayarkula Kannan wedding her. Whosoever is able to learn and chant these Pashurams will be blessed with good children and prosperous lives with them.
Andal's dream came true, and she is the only Arvar who became the consort of the Lord. Sri Vankipuram Rajagopalan Swami in his book describes Andal's unique form of bridal mysticism. Further, Swami describes from Nanjiyar's treatise regarding the celestial marriage between God and the individual soul, the Atma Vivaha, which may be considered as the inner meaning or Swapadesham of this Tirumuri. Shriyapati, Narayana, is the cloud. A downpour of love fell from it. In the soil of compassion, the plant of life sprouted up. Thus, to the father of the longing and the mother of wisdom, a girl was born, the soul. She was fed with food of taste of God. In due course, wisdom bloomed in the child, and the time was ripe for marriage. Marriage is a sacrament which is performed in the presence of the sacred fire, Agni Sakshi. Fire is ignited, godly men cluster together, and the bride's soul is handed over to the spouse God with the oblation of soul knowledge, Atma Jnana.
The bride is vested in the robes of humility, and the thread of service is tied around the neck. Decked with jewels of name and form, she is led to the seat of faith, renunciation, and the final act of surrender is offered into the fire. The bride is then conducted into the nuptial chamber of Sri Vaikunta. It is a great fortune for all of us to have witnessed the Andal Kalyanam. It is said that those great souls who perform the noble Andal Kalyanam at the temple or at homes will always be blessed with saubhagyams on this earth. Andal Rangamannar Thiruvadiyale Sharanam.
முதலே நங்கட்கு சார்வே சார்வே நமக்கென்று சக்கரத்தான் தந்தொழாய் தார்வாள் வரைமார்வன் தான் முயங்கம் காரார்ந்த வானமரமின்னிமைக்க வண்டாமரை நெடுங்கன் தேனமரன் பூமேல் திரு சார்வு நமக்கென்றும் சக்கரத்தான் தந்தொழாய் தார்வாள் வரைமார்வன் தான் முயங்கம் காரார்ந்த வானமரமின்னிமைக்க வண்டாமரை நெடுங்கன் தேனமரம் பூமேல் திருக்கண்டேன் பொன்மேனி கண்டேன் திகழும் தருக்கண் அணிநிறமம் கண்டேன் செருக்கிளரம் வண்ணாழி கண்டேன் புரிசங்கம் கண்டேன் என்னாழி வண்ணன்பால் இருப்பிடம் வைகுந்தம் வேங்கடம் மாலிரம் சோலை என்னும் பொறுப்பிடம் மாயனுக்கென்பர் நல்லோ வேதம் இடம் வந்திருப்பிடம் ஹாயனிராமனு சன்மனத்து என்றவன் வந்திருப்பிடம் எந்த நிதயத்தள்ள தனக்கின் புறவே இருப்பிடம் வைகுண்டம் வேடனம் மாலிரஞ்சோலை என்னும் பொறுப்பிடம் அவேதம் இடம் வந்திருப்பிடம் ஆயனிராமான சன்மனத்து என்றவன் வந்திருப்பிடம் எந்த நிதயத்தொள்ள தனக்கின் புறவே என்பொற்ற சீரத்தி ராமானுதா என்றும் எவ்விடத்தம் என்பொற்ற நோய் உடல்தோறும் பிறந்திருந்தறியதன் பற்று வீயனும் சொல்லுவதன் ரெண்டு உன் தொண்டர்கட்கே அன்பற்றிருக்கும்படி என்னையாக்கி அங்காட்படுத்தேன் போற்ற சீலத்தி ராமானுசா என்றும் எவ்விடத்தம் என்பொற்ற நோய் உடல் தோறும் பிறந்திருந்தேன் எண்ணறியதன் பற்று வீணும் சொல்லுவதென்றொண்டு உன் தொண்டர்கட்கே அன்பற்றிருக்கும்படி என்னையாக்கி அங்காட்படுத்தே அங்கயல் வாய் வயல் தென்னரங்கன் அணியாக மன்னம் அங்கய மாமலர் பாவையை போற்றதும் அத்தியெல்லாம் தங்கியதொன்னத்தழைத்த நெஞ்சே நந்தமிலிசே பொங்கிய கீர்த்தி இராமானுசன் நடிப்பு மன்னுவே அங்கயல் வாய் வயல் தென்னரங்கன் அணியாக மன்னம் மங்கய மாமலர் பாவையை போற்றதும் அத்தியெல்லாம் தங்கிய தன்னத்தழைத்த நெஞ்சே நந்தமிலிசே பொங்கிய கீர்த்தி ராமானுசன் நடிப்பு மன்னுவே ஓ மன்னமாது பொருந்திய மார்பன் புகழ் மலிந்த பாமன்னமாறன் அடிபை நோய்ந்தவன் அல்கலையார்த்தாம் மன்ன வந்த இராமானுசன் சரணாரவிந்தம் நாம் மன்னி வாழ நெஞ்சே சொல்லுவோம் அவன் நாமங்களே பல்லாண்டு பலோடி நாராயணம் மல்லாண்டதன் தாழ்மணிவண்ண உன்சேடுவதற்காப்ப அடியாமோடம் நின்னோடம் பெருவென்று ஆயிரம் பல்லாண்டு வடிவானின் வளமார்பினில் வாழ்கின்ற மங்கையும் பல்லாண்டு வடிவார் சோதி வளத்துறையும் சுடராழியும் பல்லாண்டு படைவார் பக்க முழங்கம் அப்பாஞ்ச சன்னியம் வல்லாண்டே
திருமகளும் திருவடிவும் திருவருளும் தள்ளறிவும் அருமையிலாமையும் உறவும் அளப்படி
கர்மமழை படைப்பமேப்பும் கலக்கமிலா வகை நின்ற அருள் வரது நிலை இலக்கில் நம்பன நான் அமிழ்ந்தேனே
திருமகளும் திருவடிவும் திருவருளும் தள்ளறிவும் அருமையிலாமையும் உறவும் அளப்படி வடியாடு
கர்மமழை படைப்பமேப்பும் கலக்கமிலா வகை நின்ற அருள் வரது நிலை இலக்கில் நம்பன நான் அமிழ்ந்தேனே
ஆறு பயன் வேறெல்லா அடியவர்கள் அனைவருக்கும் ஆறு மதன் மணிமை ஒரு காலம் பலகாலம்
ஆறு பெனவே கண்டு அருளாளரிடினே மேல் கூறியனர் கணவரைகள் எவ்வத்தம் கோஜலவே
ஆறு பயன் வேறெல்லா ஆடியவர்கள் அனைவருக்கும் ஆறு மதன் மணிவை ஒரு காலம் பலகாலம்
ஆறு பெனவே கண்டு அருளாளரிடினே மேல் கூறியனர் கணவரைகள் எவ்வத்தம் கோஜலவே
தொண்டராக்கம் துணடி வாழி நம் தூமுருவல் கொண்ட முகம் வாழி வாழி வியாக்கியா முத்திரை
வண்டிருநாமமும் வாழி மணிவடமப்பரினோ கொண்ட சீர்தோப்பல் குலமணியே வாழினின் வடிவே
வாழி நெந்தோமுறவல் கொண்ட முகம் வாழி வாழி வியாக்கியா முதுக்கை
வண்டிருநாமமும் வாழி மணிவடமப்பரினோல் கொண்டது சோப்பல் கொலமணியே வாழினின் வடிவே
வடிவாய் காந்த வந்தோப்பல் வல்மேல் மேல் அடியவர் ஓதி அந்தாதி இருப்பதும் ஐந்து
இடமுடனே ஜனந்தோறும் ஆதரித்தோதும் அன்பர் முடியிடை நேர்பட தோப்பலம்மான் பதமாமலரே வடிவழகார்ந்த வந்தோப்பல் வள்ளல் மேல்
அடியவர் ஓதி அந்தாதி இருப்பதும்
இடமுடனே ஜனந்தோறும் ஆதரித்தோதும் அன்பர் முடியிடை நேர்பட தோப்பலம்மான் பதமாமலரே
மாமலர் மன்னிய மங்கை மகிழ்ந்துரை மார்பினந்தார் தோமலர் சுடிய
தொல்வர்வாழ்வையுகக்கும் இராமானுசமணி வன்மை போற்றும் சீர்மயன் எங்கள் தோப்பள் பிள்ளைபாதம் சென்னியதே
न्यायेन मार्गेण महिमैषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु स्वामिनास्ति मन्त्रार्था सत्याः सबलाः सन्ति भवन्तो महान्तो न गृह्णन्तो श्रीकृष्णस्य वेणुगोपालस्वामिनः नित्योत्सव पक्षोत्सव मासोत्सव संवत्सरोत्सव दिने दिने अभिवृद्धिर्भूयात् भवन्तो महान्तो न गृह्णन्तो अस्मिन् नगरे निवासितानां सर्वेषां भक्तमहाजनानां क्षमस्ति वीर्य आयुरारोग्य ऐश्वर्याभिवृद्धिर्भूयात् भवन्तो भवन्तो महान्तो न गृह्णन्तो सर्वे जनाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तमङ्गलानि भवन्त्यायेताः आशिषः सन्तु स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महिमैषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु प्रातःकालाराधनेन सायङ्काला त्रिकल्याणोत्सवाङ्गमन्त्रलोपे तन्त्रलोपे द्रव्यलोपे श्रद्धालोपे श्रीलक्ष्मीस्वामी शरणारविन्दार्पणमस्तु अपचारां समस्त पुरुषोत्तम.
So we'll be doing Acharya Sambhavana at this time. Right after the Acharya Sambhavana, we'll be doing the Satumare Kramam. During that time, please come everybody in a single file like this. You can take the Perumal Tirtham and Chatari here, have a darshan of the Perumal, and then you'll take the Pala Prasadam at that end. Okay? So we'll let you know when the Tirtham will be ready. Krishna paramam padagam sada pashyanti surayah diviva chakshura tatam tadvipraso vipanyavoja grivagam sasvamindate Vishnoryat paramam padam granahi gritavati savitaragipatye payashvatirantiraashano astu dravadisham vishnipadnyagora shesha nasagasoya manota brigaspatir matarishvota vayu sandhuvana vata vinno grananto vishtambo divodharana prativya sesa najagata vishnupatni periya perumal sriranganaachya sambhavana srinivasa perumal mel mangaitaya sambhavana பேருளாள பெருமாள் தென்மதேவி நாச்சியார் சம்பாவனம் ஆறாமுதாழ்வான் கோமலவல்லி தாயார் சம்பாவனம் ருக்மிணி சத்யபாமா சமேத ஸ்ரீ வேணுகோபால பெருமாள் சம்பாவனம் பத்ரி நாராயண பெருமாள் அருந்தல்லி தாயார் சம்பாவனம்
भूरा प्रमाण संभावना तिरुनारायण प्रमाण तीर्णाच्यार संभावना चरणं पवित्रं विततं पुराणं येन भूतस्तरदुष्कृतानि तेन पवित्रेण शुद्धेन भूताः अधिवात्मानमराजन्तरेम लोकस्य द्वारमर्चिमत्पवित्रं ज्योतिष्मत्प्राजमानं सुदे अमृतस्य धारा भगदा दोहमानं शरणं नो लोके सुचितां ददातु प्रपन्नजनसन्तानकूट अभेदाहमेतं पुरुषं महान्तम् आदित्यवर्णं तमसस्तु पारे सर्वाणि रूपाणि विचित्य धीरः नामानि कृत्वा विवदनिदास्ते दाता पुरस्ताद्यमुदाचार विद्वान् प्रतिशस्ततः तमेवं विद्वान् अमृतयः भवति नान्यः पन्था अयनाय विद्यते यज्ञान यज्ञमयजन्त देवाः प्रपन्नजनसन्तान कोटस्त्रा नम्माळ्वार संभावना न कर्मणा न प्रजया धनेन त्यागेनैके अमृतत्वमानशुः परेण नाकं निहितं गुगायां विभ्राजते एतयो विशन्ति वेदान्त विज्ञान सुनिष्ठिताता संन्यासयोगात्यते शुद्धसत्त्वाः ते ब्रह्मलोके तु परान्तकाले परामृतात् परिमुच्यन्ति सर्वे दाग्रं विपापं तरमेष्मभूतं यत्पुण्डरीकं पुरमस्य सग्रस्तं तत्रापि दगरं गगनं विशोकस्तस्मिन् यद्वेदादो स्वरप्रोक्तो वेदान्ते च प्रतिष्ठितः तस्य प्रकृतिलीनस्य परस्य महेश्वरः दुर्संसापराण श्री भाष्यकार संभावना चरणं पवित्रं विततं पुराणं येन भूतस्करस्कृतानि तेन पवित्रेण शुद्धेन भूताः अधिवात्मानमरातिं तरेम लोकस्य द्वारमर्चितं पवित्रं ज्योतिष्मद्राजमानं मगस्वते अमृतस्य धारा बहुधा दोहमानं शरणं लोके सुजितां ददातु श्रीमद्वेदमार्ग प्रतिष्ठापनाचार्य सर्वतंत्र स्वतंत्र वेदांताचार्य श्रीमद् सिद्धांत निर्धारण सार्वभौम श्रीमद् महादेशिकन्मावना चरणं पवित्रं विततं पुराणं येन बोधस्वर प्राप्तो वेदान्ते च प्रतिष्ठितः तस्य प्रकृतिलीनस्य परस्य महेश्वरः श्रीमद्वेदमार्ग प्रतिष्ठापनाचार्याणां परमहंस परिव्राजकार्याणां सर्वतंत्र स्वतंत्रापि वेदांताचार्याणां श्रीमद्नाथमुनि श्रीमद्ध्यामनमुनि श्रीमद्रामानुजमुनिरूप मुनित्र सिद्धांत स्थापनाचार्याणां श्रीमतां श्री गोपालार्य महादेशिकानां संभावना श्रीमतां श्री श्रीनिवास महादेशिकानां संभावना श्रीमतां श्री वेदांत रामानुज महादेशिकानां संभावना श्रीमतां श्री पादुका सेवक रामानुज महादेशिकानां संभावना श्रीमतां श्री
श्रीनिवास महादेशिकानां संभावना श्रीमतां श्री पादुका सेवक रामानुज महादेशिकानां संभावना श्रीमतां श्री श्रीनिवास रामानुज महादेशिकानां संभावना श्रीमतां श्रीनिवास श्री वेदांत रामानुज महादेशिकानां संभावना श्रीमतां श्री पादुका सेवक रामानुज महादेशिकानां संभावना श्रीमतां श्री श्रीनिवास महादेशिकानां संभावना श्रीमतां श्री श्रीनिवास रामानुज महादेशिकानां संभावना श्रीमतां श्री रंगनाथ महादेशिकानां संभावना श्रीमतां श्री वेदांत रामानुज महादेशिकानां संभावना श्रीमतां श्री श्रीनिवास रामानुज महादेशिकानां संभावना चरणं पवित्रं
विततं पुराणं येन भूतस्कृतानि तेन पवित्रेण शुद्धेन भूताः अधिआत्मानमरातिं तरेम लोकस्य द्वारमर्चित पवित्रं ज्योतिष्मत्प्राजमानं मघस्वते अमृतस्य धारा बहुधा दोहमानं शरणं न लोके सुखितां ददातु न कर्मणा न प्रजया धनेन त्यागेनैके अमृतत्वमानशुः परेण नाकं निहितं गुहायां विभ्राजते यो विशन्ति वेदान्त विज्ञान सुनिश्चिताता संन्यासयोगात् यदय शुद्धसत्त्वाः ते ब्रह्मलोके तु परान्तकाले परामृतात् परिमुच्यन्ति सर्वे दाघ्रं विपापं परमेश्वभूतं यः पुण्डरीकं पुरमध्य सर्गस्थं तत्रापि दघ्रं गगनं विश्वस्तस्मिन्
वेदान्ते च प्रतिष्ठितः तस्य प्रकृतिलीनस्य परस्य महेश्वरः श्रीमद्वेदमार्ग प्रतिष्ठापनाचार्याणां परमहंस परिव्राजकार्याणां श्री भगवद्रामानुजवेदान्ताचार्याणां श्री भगवद्रामानुज सिद्धान्त निर्धारण सार्वभौमानां श्रीमन्नाथ मुनि श्रीमद्ध्यामन मुनि श्रीमद् रामानुज मुनिरूप मुनित्र सिद्धान्त स्थापनाचार्याणां श्रीमतां श्री वेदांत रामानुज सम्यमित लब्ध सर्वज्ञानां श्रीमतां श्री रंगरामानुज महादेशिकानां संभावना वेदांत लक्ष्मण मुनीन्द्र कृपा तबोधम तत्पादे मम कीड़ो मम कीड़ो शरणं प्रपद्ये श्रीमते रंगरामानुज महादेशिकाय नमः श्रीमते श्रीनिवास रामानुज महादेशिकाय नमः श्रीमते वेदांत रामानुज महादेशिकाय नमः श्रीमते श्रीनिवास महादेशिकाय नमः श्रीमते गोदाये नमः श्रीरंगनायक्ये नमः श्रीरंगनाथ परब्रह्मणे नमः श्रीरंगनाथ गुणपादुकाभ्यां नमः ஆண்டாள் எம்பெருமானார் சிரார்த்தோப்பல் திருவேங்கடமுடையாம் திருவடிகளே சரணம். இப்போ தீர்த்தம் கொடுக்க போகிறோம். தீர்த்தம் ஷட்டாரி பிரமாதம். இது மாதிரி ஒரு கோஷ்டி எந்த ஊரில் கிடைக்கும்? நாராயணா. இங்கே பாரு, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கிளாஸ் ஆண்டாள் கோஷ்டி ஃபாலோட் பை இது பாகவத கோஷ்டி. எல்லாம் வரிசையாக அப்படியே இருங்கோ. அந்த முதல்ல வந்து பாதுகையை சேவிச்சுட்டு பெருமாள் சேவிச்சுட்டு தீர்த்தம் எங்கப்பா? தீர்த்தம் ஷட்டாரி சுவாமி. சுவாமி தீர்த்த ஷட்டாரி இங்கே இருந்துக்கோங்க சுவாமி. சுவாமி இங்கே வா, இங்கே வாப்பா. அப்படி ஓகே. அருளப்படா என்று தீர்த்தங்க தீர்த்தங்க. ஓகே அருளப்பாடு. பாதுகா தீர்த்தம் கிடையாது. It's an amazing goshti who has chosen to stay back this late. Once again, our apologies for running late. Narayana. Butter Paranguduksu. Butter Paranguduksu. Satari.
रामाचार्य दिव्याज्ञा वर्धतामपि वर्धताम्.
रामानुजार्य दिव्याज्ञा प्रजासनमज्जला जयन्ता व्यापिने भया साहिलादेशने श्रीमन्नस्तेरङ्गस्तेमनभद्रामणिरं संवर्धय श्रीमन्नस्तेरङ्गस्तेमनभद्रामणिरं संवर्धय. नमो रामानुजार्याय वेदान्तार्थप्रदायिने आत्रेय पद्मनाभाय सुताय गुणशालिने रामानुजदयापात्रं ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणं श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यं वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकं. வாழிய ராமானுஜ பள்ளான் மாதவகால் வாழ் ஒரு புக் இருந்ததுங்க. வாழியவன் மாறன் மறையும் ராமானுஜன் பாஷ்யம் சேரும்படி உரைத்தரம் சேர் இங்க ஒரு புக் இருந்தது. மன்னவாழ் போதரான் மணப்பன் வாழிய கஞ்ச திருமங்கி கவந்தன் வாழிய கலை நிறை குடி கண்ட அறத்துறையோன் வாழிய செஞ்சாள் தன்மரகள் தளர்ந்துரைப்போன் வாழிய திருமலைமால் திருமணியாய் சிறக்க வந்தோன் வாழிய தஞ்ச பரகதையை தந்தருள்வோன் வாழிய செந்தமிழ் கோப்பால் திருவேங்கடவன் வாழிய நான் நிலமும் தான் வாழ நான்மறைகள் தான் வாழ மாநகரின் மாறன் மறை வாழ ஞானியர்கள் சென்னியணி செயர்தோப்போ வேதாந்த தேசிகனே இன்னும் ஒரு நூற்றாண்டிரம் வாழிதோப்பருமாந்தாசிரியன் வாழியவன் பாதாரவிந்த மலர் வாழியவன் கொதிலா தாழ் மலரை கொண்டாடி கொண்டிருக்கும்
நமஸ்தஸ்மை ஸ்ரீனிவாச
லக்ஷ்மணாகியோகினே ஸ்ரீமத் வேதாந்த ராமானுஜ சர்வஜ்ஞசாலினே தேசிகேந்திர பாத்திரம் தாசவாத்சல்யசேதம்
யதேந்திரம் ஸ்ரீனிவாச மகாதேசிகமாஸ்ரயே வாழி திருமானசீர்வாடுகாள் அணியமா வாழ்நான்கும் வேந்தமிழும் மாமரியம் தேர்சி வேத பகசியம் வேர்கொலோன் வாழியே வேதாந்த தேசிக போல் வீர வந்தோன் வாழியே நீதி நிறுத்தகர்மல் நிறுத்தமோன் வாழியே நேசமனாசாரம் நீல வைத்தோன் வாழியே காதன் தமிழ்மொழியின் கருத்து போன் வாழியே கருதன் குழத்தை நன்கு ஆத்து போன் வாழியே பூத புருஷனை மனது போன் வாழியே புகழ் ஸ்ரீனிவாச குரு பூதத்தில் வாழியே வேதகந்தான் வாழ வேதகந்தான் வாழ ஏதமில் ராமானுசன் வாழ மாதனார் மணிகள் சீனிவாசன் श्रीमान वेंकटनाथार्य कवितार्य केसरी वेदांताचार्य वर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सुधारि
श्रीमल्लक्ष्मण योगेन्द्र सिद्धांत
विश्वामित्र गलोद्बोधं वरदार्यमम्बजे
स्वतंत्राय सिंहाय कैवादिनां वेदांताचार्य वेंकटेशाय मंगलम् नभस्यमासि श्रवणायाम् अवतीर्णाय सूर्ये
विश्वामित्रान्वयायास्तु वेंकटेशाय मंगलम्
यस्य अनंत सूर्य पुंडरीकाक्षेज्वनः
पौत्रो यस्तनयस्तो श्रोतारम्भायास्तस्य
वेङ्कटेशावतारोऽयं तद्घण्टां सोतवा भवेत्
इन्द्रां श्रोतवेत्येवं वितर्क्यायास्तु मङ्गलम्
विभाषकारपन्थानामात्मना दर्शितं पुनः
उद्धर्तुमागतो न्यूनं वित्युक्तायास्तु मङ्गलम्
विभाषकारपन्थानामात्मना दर्शितं पुनः
उद्धर्तुमागतो नून इत्युक्तायास्तु
यो
मङ्गलम्
बाल्ये वरदार्यस्य प्राचार्यस्य परान्तया
अवाप्य वृद्धिं गमितस्तस्मै योग्याय मङ्गलम्
रामानुजातात्रेयान् मातला सकला कृतवान्
अवाप विंशत्यस्मै प्राज्ञाय मङ्गलम्
स्वप्रकाशिका भूमौ येनादो परिरक्षिता
वर्तिता च पात्रेषु तस्मै श्रेष्ठाय
स्वप्रकाशिका भूमौ येनादो परिरक्षिता
वर्तिता च पात्रेषु तस्मै श्रेष्ठाय
संस्कृतेभिः ब्राह्मणेभिर्बह्वीभिः कृतभिज्जनान्
मुत्सीयामास तस्मै सेव्याय मङ्गलम्
ख्यातिलाभपूजा सुमुखो वैष्णवे जने
दशां प्राप्तस्तस्मै भव्याय
तस्मादेव मया सर्वं शास्त्रमग्राहिणान्यतः
तस्मै वेङ्कटनाथाय ममनाथाय मङ्गलम्
ब्रह्मापदेष्टे मे गुरवे देवताय च
प्राप्याय प्रापकायास्तु वेङ्कटेशाय
पित्रे
मङ्गलम्
ब्रह्मापदेष्टे मे गुरवे देवताय च
प्राप्याय प्रापकायास्तु वेङ्कटेशाय
विकृतं
मङ्गलम्
वरदार्येण वेदान्ताचार्य मङ्गलम्
आशास्ते अनिदिनं सोऽपि भवेन् मङ्गलभाजनम्
विकृतं वरदार्येण वेदान्ताचार्य मङ्गलम्
आशास्ते अनुदिनं सोऽपि भवेन् मङ्गलभाजनम्
सिंहाय कल्याणगुणशालिने श्रीमते वेङ्कटेशाय वेदान्तगुरवे नमः वादिद्वसरोभङ्गपञ्चान्नपराक्रम श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्य शर्मजेताम्बुवे श्रीनिवासितीन्द्रा मे सन्निधत्तां सदा कृते वेदमार्गप्रतिष्ठात्रे वेदान्तज्ञानशालिने
श्रीनिवासितीन्द्राख्य देशिकायास्तु
पर्वादेव सिंहाय परिव्राजक भूभ्रते
स्वतन्त्र स्वतन्त्राय सर्वज्ञायास्तु मङ्गलम्
सारज्ञात्रे विद्वत्सुरत्र
व्यात वैभवायास्तु देशिकेन्द्राय मङ्गलम्
भाष्यकार सिद्धान्त महोदिति सुधांसवे
वेदान्ताचार्य सिद्धान्त वर्तकायास्तु मङ्गलम्
सारादि ग्रन्थ सार्यस्य वेदिने
राजीव समनेत्राय यमिराजाय मङ्गलम्
प्रपत्तिशास्त्रसारम् एको वेत्ति महीथले
प्रपन्नार्तिहरायास्तु तस्मै बहुलमङ्गलम्
श्रीयामनाचार्य यच्च श्रीलक्ष्मणाह्वयः
तन्मुनित्रय सिद्धान्त स्थापकायास्तु मङ्गलम्
रङ्गेशपति वेदान्त लक्ष्मणाह्वयोगिना यकम्बमासि पुष्य रक्षे ह्यवेद्र शुभान्विते
तस्मै श्री श्रीनिवासाख्य देशिकेन्द्राय मङ्गलम्
श्री भाष्यकार यच्च वेदान्त देशिकः
आचार्य त्रयांशाय तस्मै श्रेष्ठाय मङ्गलम्
श्री श्रीनिवास रामानुज गुरुत्तमान्
अवाप्त सकलार्थाय गुरवे भूरि मङ्गलम्
भक्ति विरक्त्यादि कल्याण गुणशालिने
ज्ञान प्रदनोत्कण्ठाय तस्मै नाथाय मङ्गलम्
हस्ताय शूद्रपुण्ड्र विशोभिने
शुभश्री यज्ञसूत्राय तस्मै शुद्धाय मङ्गलम्
यस्यानुकम्पया मध्योऽभ्यक्ता व्याकृतिकृत् भवेत्
श्रीवास देशिकेन्द्राय तस्मै भवतु मङ्गलम्
देशिक कृपा भूम्ना श्रीराम कविनिर्मितम्
तन्मङ्गलम् सुपठता मङ्गलम् भवति ध्रुवम्
देशिक कृपा भूम्ना श्रीराम कविनिर्मितम्
तन्मङ्गलम् सुपठता मङ्गलम् भवति ध्रुवम्
सरसज्ञाय वेदान्ताचार्य भक्तये
श्रीनिवास इतीन्द्राख्य देशिकाय नमो नमः
वेदशेषरसज्ञाय वेदान्ताचार्य भक्तये
श्रीनिवास इतीन्द्राख्य देशिकाय नमो नमः
लक्ष्मणमुनीन्द्रपादम् तत्पादैग्मसरसेरभृङ्गराजम् त्रयन्तैग्मकृतपारिपरिश्रमन्तम् श्रीरङ्गलक्ष्मणमुनिम् शरणम् प्रपद्ये श्रीमश्रीवासयोगीश्वरमुनिकरुणाब्धवेदान्तयुग्मम् श्रीमद्वेदान्त रामानुज गुरुपतेयोरर्पित स्वात्मभारम्
श्रीमद्वेदान्त रामानुज जयति नृपते प्राप्त मोक्षाश्रमन्तम् श्रीमश्रीवास रामानुज मुनिमपरम् संश्रये ज्ञानवान्
श्रीमद्वेदान्त रामानुज मुनिकरुणालब्ध वेदान्त युग्मम् श्रीमश्रीवास योगीश्वर गुरुपतयोरर्पित स्वात्मभारम्
श्रीमश्रीरङ्गनाथ हवय मुनिकृपया प्राप्त मोक्षाश्रमन्तम् श्रीमद्वेदान्त रामानुज मुनिमपरम् संश्रये देशिकेन्द्र
श्रीमद्वेदवदम् सलक्ष्मणमुनेः प्राप्त आगमान्तद्वयम् तेन श्रीरघुपङ्गवाग्रियुगले न्यस्तात्मरक्षाभरम्
श्रीमश्रीनिधि योगी वर्य कर्णालब्धाब्ज चक्राङ्कणम् वन्दे शान्तिविरक्तिपूर्णमणकम् श्रीरङ्गनाथम् गुरुम्
श्रीमद्वेदान्तरामानुजयतिनृपते लब्धवेदान्तयुग्मम् श्रीमद्देवादिनेतुचरणसरसुजे तेन दत्तात्मभारम् श्रीमश्रीवासयोगीश्वरमहितमहासम्प्रदायैकनिष्ठम् वन्दे श्रीवासयोगीश्वरगुरुमनघम् वत्सलम् भव्यशीलम् श्रीमश्रीवासयोगीश्वरपदविनतम् लब्धवेदान्तयुग्मम् श्रीपादुसेवी रामानुजमुनितिलकात् तत्पदन्यस्तभारम्
श्रीमश्रीवासरामानुजमुनिमणेर्लब्धमोक्षाश्रमन्तम् श्रीमद्वेदान्तरामानुजयतिनिर्पतिम् संश्रये
श्रीमद्नाथमुनीन्द्रयामुनमुनि श्रीसंयमेन्द्रात्मनः
श्रीमश्रीवासयोगी प्रवरसकुरुण पाङ्गासङ्गासभङ्गात् वेदान्तद्वन्द्वविद्या मधुरसलहरी सञ्चरी कायमानः तेनाचार्येण रङ्गप्रभुचरणयुगदत्तरक्षाभरश्रीः श्रीमश्रीवासरामावरजमुनिमनेर्सन्ततम् श्रेयसे स्यात्
श्रीमद्नाथमुनीन्द्रयामुनमुनि श्रीसंयमेन्द्रात्मनः श्रीश्रीवासमुनीन्द्रदेशिकमणेः प्राप्त आगमान्तद्वयम्
श्रीरङ्गेशपदत्तावृतपरम् श्रीपादुकासेवक श्रीरामानुजयोगिनम् गुरुवरम् वन्दे दयासागरम्
श्रीरङ्गेशपदे समर्पितवरम् श्रुत्यन्त रामानुज श्रीयोगीन्द्रगुरुत्तमेन यमनश्रद्यन्त विद्यात्मनः प्राप्त श्रुत्यवतम् सुयुग्महृदयम् श्रीवासरामानुजात् श्रीश्रीवासमुनीन्द्रदेशिकमणिम् श्रेयोनिधिम् संश्रये श्रीमद्गोपालसूरेः निरवधिकरणाप्तसत्सम्प्रदायम् श्रीमद्वेदान्तरामानुजतिर्पतिः सर्वतः स्थापयित्वा
यस्मिन् सत्सम्प्रदायम् सकलमुपदिशन्
हंसदो निप्रविष्टः श्रीमश्रीवासरामानुजमुनिमनघम् दम्पजे देशिकेन्द्रम् गोपालदेशिकपदाम् जमदुव्रतस्य प्रज्ञा विरक्तिकरणामुखसद्गुणाब्देः
वेदान्तलक्ष्मणमुने श्रितेवागधेयम् आदारविन्दयुगलम् शरणम् प्रपद्ये
श्रीकृष्णदेशिकपदाम्बुजभृङ्गराजम् वेदान्तलक्ष्मणमुनीन्द्रकृपात्तबोधम्
अय्यन्तदेशिकेतीन्द्रशठारिमूर्तिम् गोपालदेशिकमणिमाश्रयामः
श्रीरङ्गनाथगुरुपादसरोजहंसम् वेदान्तदेशिकपदाम्बुजभृङ्गराजम्
श्रीमद्यतीन्द्रषटकोपदयावलम्बम् वेदान्तलक्ष्मणमुनिम् शरणम् प्रपद्ये
कल्याणमस्माकम् कारुण्यकलाम्बुदे श्रीमद्वीररागुरुस्तनयम् तदच्च शारीरगादिसमनीत्य समस्तशास्त्रम्
विद्योतमानमनवद्य गुणैकतानम् श्रीरङ्गनाथ गुरुवर्यमहम् प्रपद्ये
श्रीवेङ्कटेश करुणाकरेण श्रीशे समर्पितम् श्रुतभारजातम्
श्रीरङ्गनाथ गुरुवीक्षण लब्धबोधम् श्रीवीरराघव गुरुम् शरणम् प्रपद्ये
पदयोन्तितेः कल्याणगुणवारिते
श्रीमते वेङ्कटेशस्य चरणौ शरणम् भजे
श्रीमतो रङ्गनाथस्य गुणैर्धास्यमुपागतम्
रामानुजम् द्वितीयम् तमद्वितीयमुपास्महे
श्रीथातगुरुसेवार्थ वेदान्त युगलाशयः
आस्यनन्त गुरु श्रीमान् श्रेयसे मेस्तु
श्रीशैलपूर्णकुलवारिणि पूर्णचन्द्रम् श्रीश्रीनिवास गुरुवर्य पदाम्बुजभृङ्गम्
श्रेयो गुणाम्बुनिगादम् श्रीतातार्यनमनगम् शरणम् प्रपद्ये
श्रीमच्छटारिमुनिपात सरोजहंसम् श्रीमत्पराङ्कृतपोदनलब्धबोधम्
श्रीमन्नरसिंह वरदार्य दयावलम्बम् श्रीमत्पराङ्कुशमुनिम्
श्रीमद्वरदविष्णुवार्ण्यपदपङ्कजषड्पदम्
अहोबिलगुरुम् वन्दे वत्स वैकैकतिकम्
महादयादी चिराम्बुजाक्ष नित्यानि नित्यामन्विष्टबुद्धेः
अज्ञान निग्रहाकमच्च
महादयादीश गुरोः तनयम् तत्सवित्वरम्
वन्दे वरद विष्णुवार्यम् वात्सल्यादि
नमो वरद विष्णुवार्य नयनानन्तनायिने
वास्याय वरदार्याय वादिनिहार भास्वते
पर्याय भास्कराय प्रणतार्तिम् विधुन्वते
ब्रह्मतन्त्र स्वतन्त्राय द्वितीय ब्रह्मणे नमः
श्रीमन्वेङ्कटनाथार्य कवितार्किककेसरे
वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्ताम् सदा हृदि
यस्मादस्माद्व्यपरेत् यदिपति कथितप्राक्तरि प्रक्रियो गत कर्म प्रवराम हंस प्रभवम् बहुबलम् सार्थमग्राहि शास्त्रम्
तम् विश्वग्भेद विद्यास्थित पद विषयस्तेय भूतम् प्रभुतम् वन्दे यात्रेय रामानुज गुरुमणगम् वादिहंसाम्बुवा
रामानुजार्तनयम् रमणीय वेशम् आत्रेयमात्मगुणपूर्ण मनर्गशीलम्
श्रीरङ्गराजमिवतया वतीर्णम् श्रीरङ्गराज गुरुवर्यमहम् प्रपद्ये
आत्रेय गोत्राम्बुधिपूर्णचन्द्रम् आचारयुक्ताम गुणोपन्नम्
नतातिहृदेशिक रत्नसूनं रामानुजार्यं गुरुमाश्रयामः
आत्रेय गोत्र सम्भूतमाश्रये सदवत्सलम्
यतीन्द्र महासिकं प्रणतार्तिहरं
गुरुनामं लक्ष्मणमुनि प्रतिगृह्णातु मामकम्
प्रसादयति यत्सूक्ति स्वाधीनपतिका
दयानिघ्नम् इतीन्द्रस्य देशिकम् पूर्णमाश्रये
येन विश्वसृजो विष्णोरपूर्यत मनोरथ
गाहेयामनं तीर्थं साधु बृन्दावने स्थितम्
निरस्तजिह्वस्पर्शे यत्र कृष्ण
अनग्निदक्षमायोगम् अपुण्यजनपादकम्
अस्पृष्टमदरागं तं रामं पर्युमुपास्महे
मनस्यामरविन्दाक्षम् नाथभावे व्यवस्थितम्
शुद्धसत्त्वमयं शौरेरवतारमि